We're Sheree and Cheyenne. We share a passion for traveling to national parks, state parks, theme parks, and we want to share our experience with you.
We hope you will join us as we share our travel experiences with you from national parks to theme parks. So, let's go to the park.
Today, we are talking about Dollywood.
Dollywood!
Another park in our backyard, essentially.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. East Tennessee has lots of beautiful things, which is our backyard.
Mm-hmm. So, we are going to share with you all kinds of info and facts and experiences about Dollywood today. And we are going to start out with our quiz, and it is my turn to quiz Cheyenne.
Yay!
So, and that's always my favorite because her quizzes scare me. So, 1.
Okay, I'm ready.
Dollywood's Eagle Mountain Sanctuary is the largest presentation of non-releasable bald eagles in the country.
True.
Correct. True. Isn't that awesome?
That's really cool.
That is at Dollywood. So the largest presentation of non-releasable bald eagles in the whole country.
The whole
It's
country.
at Dollywood. So, very cool.
That is cool.
And if you haven't visited Dollywood, the Eagle Sanctuary is definitely somewhere you need to stop and hang out for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. Once a Dollywood employee reaches 30 years of service, Dollywood honors them with a personalized sign that adds to the theming of the park.
Sure. True.
Correct. Isn't that cool?
That's so cool.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
So, once an employee reaches 30 years of service, they have a personalized sign that adds to the theming of the park, and you can actually find those.
We're going to have to start looking for signs.
It's kind of like an Easter egg.
Yeah.
With Disney.
Yeah.
So, super cool.
We're gonna
Something
start
I did
finding
not
those.
know. Good job on both of those.
That one was a complete guess because I thought it was too specific to bring
Right.
it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dollywood has had 2 names in its lifetime. True or false?
False.
Correct.
Yeah.
Dollywood
3?
has had 4 names
Ooh,
in
okay,
its
4.
lifetime. Rebel Railroad, which was one of our hints. Gold Rush Junction. Silver Dollar City, which probably rings a bell. I've heard that one.
Mm-hmm.
And Dollywood. So I
Cool.
thought that was neat. I've never heard of Rebel Railroad or Gold Rush Junction. Have you?
I had not either. I've always heard it as Silver Dollar City.
Yeah. 4 different names. Pretty wild. Number 4. True or false? Dolly won't ride any of the rides at her park.
I'm going to say that is true.
Correct. Oh, smarty pants. That is true. And she says the cause of that is motion sickness.
Oh, really?
That's pretty wild to me that she's never been on any of the rides
Yeah.
in her own park.
Because there's a lot of different rides.
Mhm.
My first thought was that it would blow her wig off or get it wet.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was my reason.
Don't tell. Don't tell
Everyone
her
knows
secret.
Dolly has a wig.
Oh, now they do.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. There was even one of the rods that used to be there. It was a motion ride with the big screen in front.
Yes, loved that ride.
I love that ride. In the water scene, it splashes, and Dolly said, you got my wig wet.
Oh. I
So-
love that ride.
That was the first time I questioned my parents and said, does Dolly Parton wear a wig? And they said, yes.
Interesting. I missed that ride.
I do too.
Terribly.
That was a really good ride.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Okay, 2 multiple choice questions.
Okay.
1. What war was Dollywood Express used in? Vietnam, World War II, or World War I?
Is Dollywood Express the train?
Mm-hmm.
What were the answers again?
Vietnam, World War II, World War I.
I'm going to say World War II.
Good job. Okay.
This never happened.
Did you sneak at my quiz?
I did not. Well, I thought World War II would be one of the latest. I don't know. I think, is Vietnam after World War II? I don't know. But Vietnam just doesn't feel like a place you would put a train.
Right. Which I
And
didn't
Europe
know any of them.
Europe has lots of train tracks.
I had the Dollywood Express.
I didn't either. That's really cool.
Number 2. Who is the chapel in the park, so the little church by the sanctuary, named after? Dolly's dad, Dolly's uncle, the doctor who delivered Dolly, or Dolly's first boyfriend?
The doctor that delivered Dolly.
How did you know that?
Because, you know me, whenever I'm prepping for our podcast, I like to listen to other people's podcasts.
Okay.
And so that was one of their fun facts.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That I had no idea until literally yesterday.
That is so neat. So Robert F. Thomas was
Robert F.
the name.
Thomas.
And the chapel is named after the doctor who delivered Dolly.
That's so cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It is cool.
I had no idea of any of that.
That someone had that big of an impact on her.
I mean, she brought Dolly to the world.
But yes.
Oh, well.
But still, I mean,
He
pretty
brought
cool.
Dolly. He brought Dolly to the world. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, the park by the numbers. There are 4 different names for the park. There are 3 million visitors each year. There's 50 rides and attractions, over 160 acres, 5 million Christmas lights, 11 themed areas, and then there's 2 parks, because there's Dollywood and then Dolly's Splash Country.
Very cool. 5 million Christmas lights.
5 million Christmas lights.
That sounds like a winner to me.
Yes.
Yes, I love Christmas lights. 50 rides and attractions kind of surprised me. It doesn't seem like there's that many. So that one kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
And 3
Same.
million visitors.
3 million visitors.
It's a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so some of the top spots at or around the park. So these are the different themed areas. You have Show Street, Timber Canyon, Wilderness Pass, Craftsman Valley, Owens Valley, The Village, Country Fair, Rivertown Junction, Jukebox Junction, Adventures in Imagination, and Wildwood Grove, which I think is the newest.
I think
Wildwood
you're
Grove.
correct. Wildwood Grove is the latest, and that's where they opened the Bear roller coaster.
Mm-hmm. It looks super cute.
It does look super cute. I've not rode it yet,
No, I haven't either.
but I want
thought
to.
it was for kids.
It is, but it's cute.
Yeah, it is. Well, you have kids, so.
Yeah, you're right.
You do.
I do have kids.
Okay, things to do.
Things to do at Dollywood. We have tons of roller coasters.
Yes, that is true.
We have America's first winged coaster, which is the Wild Eagle. It's a steel coaster, and the rows of seats are on the side, so you're soaring over the countryside.
Have you been on that
instead of
Cool. I have not.
instead of in it. It's wild. It's Wild Eagle. It's awesome. It is fast. It is steep. There's loopy loops, as Evie calls them. And at the end, in the summer, if you're lucky, the Yellow Jackets build their nests into the bank where you get off the roller coaster.
Oh.
So you get stung by a bee.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
I am not a big roller coaster fan, so there
That's
are
okay.
a lot of rides I have not been on at Dollywood.
There's Wild Eagle. There's Tennessee Tornado,
I have been on that one.
which is another steel coaster. It goes upside down. There is the Mystery Mine, and that one is really fun because you sit in. Sheree says no.
I haven't been on it though.
You've been on it.
I cried.
This one. How old were you?
Probably middle school.
Okay, that's fair.
No, it's not.
It's fine. So you sit in 2 rows of 4 people. So it's a small car. It's like a little mine car. The coolest part about this one is instead of going up a slanted incline to start the roller coaster, it's vertical. So you lean all the way back in your car, like 90 degrees, to go up the thing before you dump out the other side. So that one's cool. There's Thunderhead, which is a wooden roller coaster. There's Fire Chaser, which is a kid's roller coaster. It goes backwards. That one's fun. I think it's like 39 inches, that roller coaster. So Evie at 3 years old could ride that.
It's wild what Evie can ride.
I know.
In my opinion.
The other big roller coaster there is Lightning Rod, and that's the fastest wooden roller coaster in the U.S. right now.
I've not been on that.
And then there's the new Bear roller coaster. And then there's the...
Did you mention Blazing Fury?
No. Blazing Fury is technically a roller coaster. It's all indoors, and it's one of the originals that was built there at Dollywood. So it's still one of the originals. The other one I was thinking of is called the Dragonfly, maybe?
Okay.
Roller coaster. And that one is also geared towards kids, but it is very much a fast roller coaster. Evie would love it because Evie loves roller coasters, but it would make me nervous to put her on it where she's so skinny. I would be afraid she'd slide through the things.
Yeah.
But that's all the roller coasters, I believe. Outside of roller coasters, do you want to talk about more of the calm rides?
The calm rides. Okay, let me think. I really haven't been on many of the rides. Okay, in many years. Yeah.
Oh my
but we do have the cars.
The bumper cars.
The bumper cars. There's a lot of fun rides in the fair area.
Yeah. The swings.
Yeah, the swings. The scrambler. Yep.
There's the teacups, of course. There's a couple different rides for your little kids. So sitting up through 3-4 years old, there's a couple rides down there in that area for them. And then there's the carousel. And then there's the Ferris wheel, which I do not get on.
I will not get on that again either.
Does anyone ride Ferris wheels?
I don't know, but it was terrifying.
I don't know.
They also have the cars that you drive, you know.
The little antique
yeah,
cars.
That's a fun ride.
The little antique
You're
cars.
like me.
The little antique cars are on a track, so you can't wreck them.
Yes. That's fun.
That
River
one is
Rampage is fun.
River Rampage
That's
is
a good
one of the water rides. And then the other water rides, there's within Dollywood. We're not talking about Splash Country.
Right,
That's
correct.
a whole water park. Within Dollywood, there's the River Rampage ride, there's a log ride, and then there's the Mountain Slidewinder ride. So there's 3 water rides, which are fun. And you do get wet. Not just a little wet. I'm talking absolutely soaking wet at Dollywood.
You can, yes.
At those.
They do have drying stations where you can pay to dry off. But there are also lots of other things to do at Dollywood if you're a chicken like me and don't like to ride a lot of the big rides. There's shopping. There's stores that have like clothing that Dollywood, you know, similar to what she would wear.
Like the little Dolly dresses for little baby girls.
Yeah, there's lots of shopping, lots of good eating, barbecue, corn dogs, just good pizza, southern food.
There's good theme park food, and then there's good southern food. There's a couple barbecue places. There's like you can get ham and beans. You can get a lot of good southern food as well. And
then there's also a lot of fun festivals at Dollywood. And I think we should kind of start at the end of the year and work our way back since we're currently at the end of the year. So the first event or festival that we're going to talk about, and you should definitely check out our blog that will be coming out next week for more detailed information on these events. But the first one that we're going to talk about is Smoky Mountain Christmas, which is my favorite.
I love Halloween.
Yes.
And I love Christmas.
Yes.
So I love Halloween and Christmas at Dollywood equally.
Yeah. These are both great events to visit at Dollywood. The Christmas event, like it said, what did we say? How many lights?
5 million Christmas lights.
5 million Christmas lights. So that's pretty cool. You can ride the train. There's trees. There's light shows. It's just a really cool time to visit.
You can meet Santa.
Of course.
Dolly and Santa are really good friends.
So that's a really fun event to visit at Dollywood. That is my personal favorite. There's photo ops, special snacks, just a fun time.
Yeah, each festival has their own festival menu. So you can find lots of different... So foodies also enjoy Dollywood because there's so much diversity in the food as well.
And there's also different shows, too, that you can visit and watch during this time as well. And I really like the shows. The next one that we will talk about, so we're going backwards because right now the Christmas festival, Smoky Mountain Christmas, is going on. So that is what's happening currently.
Yeah. And that's November 11th to January 6th of next year. At the end of the Christmas festival is when they close Dollywood for the season, and then it opens back a few months later.
So the next one is going to be the Halloween festival, the Great Pumpkin Luminites. And so that's another one that I really love. It's so much fun. They also have lots of lights and shows and things that you can do, photo ops, and it's just a fun time to go to Dollywood because the colors are beautiful. It's nice weather typically. So I really love that time of year too.
My favorite thing with the fall festival is all of the pumpkin jack-o'-lanterns that they make. So if you go by the creek, there's jack-o'-lanterns with frogs in them. So they look like little frogs on the lily pads. Then there's a giant Christmas tree of pumpkins as well. And then there's one scene, and it's my favorite. If you're looking at it, there's probably 30 or 40 pumpkins stretched along the whole wall.
I love that part too.
Each pumpkin is carved to make a bigger picture. And so I think it makes an eagle or an owl. It makes a bird of some kind. But there's the things like that all throughout. So it's not just jack-o'-lanterns with triangle cutouts.
Right.
They're all different.
And it's throughout the park, too. I feel like they do a good job stretching it out over the whole park and not just one section. Yeah. So I like that, too. Another event that they have, and one that I've not personally been to, is featuring Sweet Summer Nights Dance and Drone Show. And the drone show is something that is newer to Dollywood. Yeah. So have you been able to visit this?
I have not
I haven't either.
Seen the Sweet Summer Nights Dance and Drone Show. I've not seen any of the drone shows in the Smokies. The one time we were there at night, it was too windy to do it, so they canceled it.
Gotcha.
But they still have things to do at night. If you're there for one of the fall or Christmas festivals, they'll light up the Christmas tree. They'll have songs and the lights flash the songs. In the Wildwood Grove area, there's a huge tree there, and they do some map projections on the tree. So even though if the drone show gets canceled, there's still other little things that you can still watch. And
then another festival that they have is the Flower and Food Festival. This is going to be spring into summer. And I'm sure I have visited during this, but it's been a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. Because Dollywood is in our backyard, we don't necessarily pay attention to what's going on at Dollywood.
Right. We just go.
We just get a wild hair and go, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So
true.
we don't necessarily look at what festival is there at the time because we just go.
That's true. So those are a few of the different festivals. Like I said, definitely go and check out the blog when I post that next week to find detailed information with dates and things that you can see and do during those festivals. But that's just some of the things that you can do at Dollywood. There's all types of things to do at Dollywood.
Oh, yeah. So if me and Sheree ever went to Dollywood together, I would leave her and go ride rides.
Mm-hmm.
And she would go shopping and
watch shows.
Watch the shows.
Yeah, I enjoy watching the shows.
And then we would come back together and eat lunch, dinner, and snacks.
Yeah.
To end the night.
I love the shows.
And Dollywood is built into the mountain. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you go to Magic Kingdom at Disney, it is flat ground. When you go to Dollywood, there are hills. There's a couple really good hills. Mm-hmm. One of them makes me breathe really hard by the time I'm at the top. So there's a couple good ones.
Is it the one by the train?
No, that's a good one too. It's the one when you first walk into the park, you turn left to get to Thunderhead, and it's just the longest there is a switchback. Okay? It is so steep, there's a switchback to get up to the top.
That is true.
So be prepared to not just walk at a theme park, but to walk at a theme park on a mountainside.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
So wear your good walking shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So our trip, we've never been together, but we have been a lot on our own. So I've visited many times over the years, at all times of the year. I've been in the summer, the spring, winter, fall, all of the seasons. My favorite would be fall or winter, just when things have cooled down a little bit.
Absolutely.
And when they have their Illuminates and the Smoky Mountain Christmas.
Absolutely.
Those are my favorite parts of Disney.
I agree. Of Disney? You mean Dollywood?
Dollywood. I just got back from Disney.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I think I agree. My favorite times to go to Dollywood are fall and winter. Mm-hmm. And if you go in winter, they always have a really good deal to buy your season pass for the next year. So that's, if you're looking to get a season pass, you can typically find a better deal in the winter months. Mm-hmm.
So what we did on our trip and our favorite park story, my favorite park story was when I was a little girl, and my dad somehow tricked me into riding Tennessee Tornado. And I was terrified because I've always been afraid of roller coasters. So for some reason, he told me that it was going to be a different ride than what it was. And I believed him, as any little girl does, believe her dad. And I got on the ride, and I was terrified. And we bought the picture. It was hilarious. My knuckles were white from holding on so tight. And I was so embarrassed by the picture. I was really little. And I hit it. And I don't know what happened to it. I'm so sad because I would love to have that picture back because it was hilarious. And I vividly remember yelling, like, I hate you, Dad, when I was on that ride because I was terrified. And he tricked me.
Oh, my
real
goodness.
Good to get me on that ride.
That's fantastic. My favorite park story is, I'm going to throw my aunt under the bus here for a minute.
Aw.
We were there at Christmas time. There's 5 million Christmas lights there. So I was maybe middle school or high school. Me and my mom went. My aunt and her daughter went. And we were in a crowd of people. We had just watched a show or something. No, the parade. The parade came through.
Oh, okay.
And Santa Claus is the back of the parade. So the parade came through, and then we were trying to get up the hill to go to the ride. And my mom said to Lucy, meet me underneath the tree with the blue Christmas lights.
Oh, gosh.
So something you need to know about my aunt is that she's colorblind. So blues and greens, there's not much difference between red, browns and blacks. There's not much difference between those colors. And so I remember laughing, and I turned around to my cousin and I said, make sure you get your mom to where she needs to go. And me and Mom were hee-haw laughing because she didn't, she literally couldn't find the blue Christmas lights. And there was a guy next to us that also started laughing, and he had said something along the lines of, I'm colorblind, so I couldn't follow that direction either. So I just thought that's one of my favorite. Hilarious. Yeah, it's one of my favorite park memories.
It's oddly specific anyways, the tree with the blue lights. Like, that'd be hard for me, and I can't see the colors. Like, how many lights are there?
How many? Trees? And that was a long time ago.
That's funny.
So there were probably less than 5 million lights
at
that time. But poor that's Lucy. one of my favorites. My favorites.
So what we want to do when we go back, something that I want to do is the Bluegrass and Barbecue Festival. I'm not sure that they're still doing that though.
Yeah, that wasn't on the...
So, but that is something. They used to have a Bluegrass and Barbecue Festival where they had lots of barbecue food and bluegrass performers. And that's something that I've always wanted to do and just never made it at the right time. So,
now,
what do you want to do when you go back?
When I go back, I want to ride. They have one of those boat rides where you get in it and it swings you.
Oh, I love those.
So Evie loves that ride and cackles on it. And I've not got to really ride that with her because I was pregnant with Finn when we went.
Yeah.
And so I want to ride that with her. And then she is getting tall enough to ride some of the bigger rides. So some of the rides that I wouldn't consider a big ride would still have a really tall height restriction. So if you're 48 inches tall, then you can ride the Tennessee Tornado, the Dizzy Disc, which I would not expect would be a height that tall, Lightning Rod, Mystery Mind, Thunderhead, and Barnstormer, which I would not think would be that tall either.
No, I wouldn't either.
A lot of these rides are equivalent to rides at Disney that Evie is tall enough to ride. So their height requirements, that would be something, if you do have kids, check how tall they are and what they can ride before you go. Because unless you're 42 inches, there's really not that much for them to ride outside of the quote-unquote kid rides. Right. So my 4-year-old does not enjoy Dollywood as much because she sees the big rides and wants to ride them and she can't.
Yeah.
So 42 inches, you've got the swings, which is a giant swing. It's tall. It's tall swings, the Blazing Fury indoor roller coaster, one of the water rides, and the bumper cars. And then I think there's another height requirement category, which is 39-inch tall, which is the Dragon Flyer and the Fire Chaser Express. So 39 inches gets you on 2 fun roller coasters. They are fun for kids, but unless you're taller than that, you don't get to ride as much as those big rides.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. Okay, some park tips for visiting Dollywood. This one we've already said, but wear good walking shoes because this park is not flat.
It is not flat.
Arrive early.
As always, arrive early. Stay late.
Make the most of your time. Visit at different times of the year because, like we said, there's so many different events, different types of weather, just different experiences, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And as with most parks, you can't bring food and drinks inside, but you are welcome to leave the park, grab a bite to eat in your car or out in town, which would be a bit of a drive.
It would.
And then come back in the park to finish your day.
They also have wheelchairs, strollers, and mobility scooters to rent. And they also, this one I did not add to the list, but they also have places where you can leave your dogs as well. Dog kennels.
Oh, a little doggy daycare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's something that's cool too that they offer.
Absolutely. So Dollywood is very friendly to our friends with disabilities. So Dollywood also has a calming room for our kids that might need a little less sensory input. So they are very friendly to our friends that maybe with autism that need a safe space.
And if that is something that you might need, you need to visit the Ride Accessibility Center near the entrance and try to do that when you first arrive so that they can be prepared for that and anticipate you using the room, and they will give you a phone number to call when you need that room.
I believe Dollywood also has an adult-size changing table.
Oh, okay.
It's not in every restroom, but I believe they do have an adult-size changing table.
Some other park tips and just things to know. There is a cost to park. Parking is not for free. And then when you park, there are trams that take you to the entrance of the park. So
which is kind of like a ride in itself.
It is. It is a fun time.
It's a fun little tram ride.
So if you do have the Gold or Diamond season pass, parking is free, which saves you a good chunk of money. So that's definitely something to look into if you visit often.
Yeah,
as one person having the Gold Pass.
Yeah, because parking is about $25 for the day, unless you're an RV.
Which is nice that they offer that.
I know. There's not many places that you can pull in an RV, and they're like, welcome. But if you want a place to stay and ride the tram in and out of the park, Dollywood has their own resort. It's called the Dreammore Resort, and it is in between Dollywood and Dolly Splash Country. So they do have a place on site to stay, and they're working on building a campground as well. And the Dreammore Resort is a resort and spa. It is, Dolly Parton has her hand all over it. You can see a lot of cool country music memorabilia. She has, if you're a Dolly fan, she does show up to Dollywood sometimes.
She does.
It's not often advertised when she's coming, but she does show up. And then she also has one of her tour buses there, and you can go through the bus. So if you're a Dolly fan, you can go see some Dolly things.
They also have Dollywood's Heart Song Lodge and Resort, which just opened this year.
I didn't know that existed
as well.
Wow.
So the lodging is definitely expanding for Dollywood.
Yeah. Well, outside of Dollywood, this is nestled in Pigeon Forge, which is near Gatlinburg and Sevierville, and the Buc-ee's in Sevierville, and of course the Great Smoky Mountains National Park by Gatlinburg. So there's lots of things to do in the area outside of just Dollywood. Dolly also owns 2 stage shows that are in town. So there's Dolly Parton's Stampede, and then there's the Pirates Voyage, Pirates something show. And so both of those are still owned by Dolly.
I think she now owns the Lumberjack Feud as well.
That would make sense.
I do believe. And I've been to all of those shows, and they're all really fun.
I
would recommend all of them.
Yeah. I've not been to any of the shows outside of the park. Food and a show. So you get to eat and watch a show.
Yeah. So there's plenty to do, all things Dolly, in Pigeon Forge.
Yep. We're going to start in the new year. We're going to start doing some exclusive videos and some exclusive Q&As in our Facebook group. So make sure you find your way to the group.
And we hope you will join us on our next live, which will be December 4th.
Join us in our private Facebook group so you can share your own trip stories, and visit our blog for even more information about the park we visited today. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another live video turned podcast. Links for all these are located in the description below.
Until next time, we'll see you at the park.